How does a vacuum cleaner suck up dirt? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, have you ever used a vacuum cleaner? Have your parents ever let you vacuum the floor? What sound does a vacuum cleaner make? Have you ever used the hose on a vacuum cleaner? Have you ever put your hand up against the hose and felt the way it tries to suck your hand in? How exactly does a vacuum cleaner work? How does it suck things off the ground? Does it have to be that loud? Let's learn all about vacuum cleaners today. When you turn on a vacuum cleaner, it kind of sounds like a tiny tornado trapped in a machine, doesn't it? But what's really happening inside is all about air pressure. You see, the word vacuum actually means a space with very little air inside. And when there's less air in one place than another, guess what? Air always rushes in to even things out. A vacuum cleaner uses that idea to pull in dust and dirt. Inside the vacuum, there's a small but powerful motor that spins a fan very, very fast. As the fan blades spin, they push air out the back of the vacuum. This lowers the air pressure inside the hose. Now there's less air inside than outside. So the higher pressure air from the room rushes in through the hose to fill that empty space. And it brings all the loose dirt, crumbs, and dust with it. The dirt and dust gets carried along with the fast-moving air, like tiny passengers in a windy tunnel. When the air reaches the dust bag or container, it suddenly enters a wider space where the air can spread out and slow down. Since the air isn't rushing as quickly anymore, it doesn't have enough strength to keep carrying the heavier bits of dirt and crumbs. Those heavier pieces fall out of the airflow and settle at the bottom of the bag or bin, while the lighter air keeps moving on toward the filter to catch any tiny dust particles before it's blown back out of the machine. Vacuum cleaners come in lots of types. Upright vacuums, robot vacuums, handheld ones, and even the big machines at car washes. But no matter the shape or size, they all work by creating low pressure zones that make air and dirt rush inside. Oh, and why are they so loud? That's the fast moving motor and the fan blades chopping through the air thousands of times a second. Engineers are always trying to make quieter motors and better sound insulation, but powerful suction usually just means big sound too. So the next time you hear that from the vacuum, you'll know why it's so loud. It's the sound of air rushing in to balance pressure and carry away the mess. Here's something crazy I learned. Vacuum cleaners were once pulled by horses. The very first vacuum cleaners were so big, they had to stay in a wagon outside while long hoses were run into people's homes. I guess it was like a cleaning service, basically, before you had vacuum cleaners so small you could just plug them in your house and just clean the living room. It was a whole big process before. They had to have horses involved. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. Why does air rush into the hose? Because of low air pressure inside the vacuum. What happens to the dirt when it gets sucked up? It gets trapped in a bag or dust container. And why are vacuums so loud? Because of the fast spinning motor and fan. Let's play true or false. True or false, the word vacuum means a space with no air. That is true. True or false, the air that comes out of a vacuum is cleaner than the air that went in. That is true. The dust and the crumbs and the dirt, that all stays in the vacuum cleaner, and then the air goes through a filter on its way out of the vacuum cleaner. True or false, the first vacuum cleaners were tiny handheld machines. False. They were so big, horses had to carry them around. Would you rather have a vacuum that plays your favorite song while it cleans, or one that follows you like a robot pet? Now, my family does not have one of those robot vacuum cleaners. There's just too much craziness going on. I don't think it would survive at our house. But it would be really cool to have one of those robot vacuum cleaners. Does your family have one of those robot vacuum cleaners that turns on after you guys go to sleep and vacuums your house? I think that's pretty cool. All right, I've got a What Am I game for us today. I'm small, round, and clean. I drive around the floor all by myself. I'm great at cleaning under couches. What am I? Yep, it's a robot vacuum like we were just talking about. I really want one of those things. Isn't it amazing that a simple change in air pressure can help clean up a whole room? Vacuums are great examples of how understanding air and motion can help create really useful inventions. All right, now if you'll excuse me, I need to vacuum my office. What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And for all the grown-ups listening, please visit CuriousKidsEveryday.com to get a free printable with activity ideas that don't involve screens. Those are the best kinds of adventures to have. Oh, and don't forget that the Curious Kids Club launches in just a few days on November 1st. Go to supportcuriouskids.com for more information. See you tomorrow!